Back lottery fans. Today I'm going to be showing you a secret pick 4 lottery rundown. Just been working in a couple of states I've been doing. I'm going to show you how to do the rundown, and then you can go ahead and try it in your state. But before I jump into the rundown today, I want to ask you guys a quick question. So Piggy's been sitting here for a couple of months now, and I just want to know, are you getting tired of Piggy? Should Piggy be switched out to something else? And if so, what should I switch out Piggy to? Leave me a comment below if you'd like to see Piggy staying here, or if you'd like me to change it out. I'm interested to hear whether or not I need to change up the background here on these videos as I do these rundowns. Alright, well, let's jump into it. So this rundown today, as I said, it's a pick 4 rundown. Definitely interested to hear it's working in your states. And I'm calling this rundown the plus minus rundown. And it's a little bit complex in terms of how it works. It takes a little bit of following, so I'm going to work through two different examples of this actual rundown today, show you how it works. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to start off with the Michigan Midday. And we're going to be using our standard pick 4 tic-tac-toe rundown worksheet. As always, it's available completely for free from lotterypredictor.com. Under the resources section there, you can go ahead and download it for free along with any of our other rundown worksheets. I'll leave a link down below in the description so you have the link for that. And in terms of what we're going to need just the 2 past lottery drawings for this one. And we're not actually going to go ahead and use our translated grid this time. You can if you want to, but for simplicity's sake, I'm not going to worry about it with this rundown. So, in terms of start date, you can go ahead and try different start dates. Certainly take a look at my rundown video, my video that shows you how to do backtracking of numbers to get a good idea of which start date to use. But for sake of example, I'm going to start with the lottery drawing on 4/9 for the Michigan Midday. And on the Michigan Midday, we had a 9847. So that's the first result that we're going to use. And then the second result, I used the same exact drawing, so the Michigan Midday drawing, but from the previous day. So I'm going to take the result from 4/8 as well. And in Michigan, that was a 6169. So now that we've got our 2 results here, we can go ahead and start filling these in our base grid. So I'm going to take the first result here and I'm going to fill it in the left-hand column in a vertical manner, top to bottom. So I'm going to start in the top left and write the first number, which is a 9. And then the next row down will have the 8. And then next will be 4. And then the next will be the 7. And now for the second number, which was the day before, I'm going to go ahead and put that in the far right column here. So I'm going to start by putting that 6 in the top right box. And then the next row down will be the 1. And then a 6, and then a 9. Now this is the part where it gets a little bit complex, so you definitely have to pay attention to this part to understand how the rundown actually works. So what we're going to go ahead and do, we're going to go ahead and compare each of the numbers on the left and the right in this row. And then we're going to go ahead and do some calculations on these numbers depending on what these numbers are. And the calculations are fairly simple. We're either going to add these 2 numbers together, or we're going to subtract these 2 numbers from each other. And the way in which we decide how we're going to do that is if the number on the left is greater than the number on the right, we're going to go ahead and subtract those. If the number on the left is smaller than the number on the right, we're going to go ahead and add those together. So if the left is greater than the right, we're going to go ahead and add. If the left is less than the right, we're going to go ahead and subtract. So those are the simple rules there. And I'll run through this in this example, and I'll do another one as well, so you'll hopefully cotton on to how we're doing this. Let's go ahead and start with the first row here. So we've got a 9 and a 6. So 9 is greater than a 6. So if 9 is greater than 6, based on our little algorithm here, like the left is greater than the right, we're going to go ahead and add those 2 together. So 9 plus 16 is 15. So I'll put a 1 in this box and a 5 in this box here. Do there. Okay. Next row down, we've got an 8 and a 1. And an 8 is greater than a 1. So based on what we have here, left is greater than right. We're going to go ahead and add those. So 8 plus 1 is 9. So we'll put a 0 in the first box and a 9 in the next box. Now in our third row down, we have a 4 and a 6. Now the 4 is less than the 6, so the left hand side is less than the right hand side. So based on our actual algorithm here, so left is less than the right, we're going to go ahead and subtract. So we'll subtract 4 from 6, and that will give us a 2. So 6 minus 4 is 2. 0, 2. And then on the last line down, we have a 7 and a 9. So 7 is less than 9, so left is less than right. Going to go ahead and subtract. So we'll take 7 from the 9, and that gives us a 2 as well. And there we go. That will give us our base grid filled out there. Now, in terms of the lines you might want to play, you can pick any pattern. Definitely backtrace these numbers. See if there's certain patterns that stand out. Maybe all the horizontal lines, all the horizontal, all the verticals, or maybe some combination of zigzags or stuff. But for simplicity's sake, I'm just going to go ahead and suggest taking just the horizontal lines, because that gives us the calculation and one number from each of our starting numbers here. Gives us a nice combination there to start playing with. So that will give us a 9156 and an 8091 and a 4026 and a 7029. And as I said, you can definitely go ahead and do a translated grid using either your mirror numbers or your flip numbers and get 4 more numbers as well. But for simplicity's sake, I'm not going to worry about it with this example of the rundown. So we go, there's 4 numbers that we can start playing in the Michigan Midday. Let me run through another state, another example, so you get an idea of how it works. So this time we're going to go ahead and we're going to use the North Carolina evening lottery. And we're only going to need the 2 drawings, and for our first drawing we're going to start with 410. So on 410 we had a 6528, and then as I said, for the second number you're going to take the drawing from the previous day from that same example, same lottery, so North Carolina evening, but the day before the 10th, which was the 9th, and that was a 7506. So we're going to go ahead and fill out our base grid again. We can put this first number in the left hand column, top to bottom. So we've got a 6, 5, 2, and an 8. And then our second result we're going to put in the right hand column. So 7, 5, 0, 6. Let me go ahead and write out the rules again real quickly so you understand them again. Remember, we're going to be filling in these center lines based on the values of the left and the right hand boxes. So if the left is greater than the right, we're going to go ahead and add the 2 numbers together. If the left is less than the right, we're going to go ahead and subtract those numbers. And then I'll show you one more rule as well, which you'll get to in a second as we get to it. So for our first line, we've got a 6 and a 7. Now 6 is less than 7, so based on our rule here, left is less than right, so we're going to go ahead and subtract. So we take 6 from 7, and that gives us a 0, 1. Now this is where the next rule comes in. So we've got a 5 and a 5. Well, hold on a second. A 5, the left is not greater than the right, and the left is not less than the right. So we actually need another rule in there. So for this one, what we're going to have to do is say if the left is equal to the right, we're going to go ahead and add those. So if we have 2 matching numbers, we will add those numbers together in this rundown, and that just makes it a little bit cleaner because you don't end up with a lot of zeros all over the place here. So we've got a 5 and a 5. If we add those together, that's 10. Alright, carrying on to the next line here, we've got a 2 and a 0. So 2 is greater than 0. So based on our rules here, left is greater than right. We're going to go and add them. So it's a 0, 2. And then on the final line, we have an 8 and a 6. So 8 is greater than 6, so left is greater than right. So add those. That gives us a 1, 4. And there we go. There's our base grid. So we're not going to do the translated grid, just for simplicity's sake. No reason to not do the translated grid, other than just making this video a bit easier to follow. You can definitely go ahead and do the translated grid using the mirror numbers and the flip numbers. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use the same horizontal lines for North Carolina as well. So that will give us a 6017 and a 5105 5105. And a 2020. That's a nice number, 2020. And an 8146. So there we go. There are 4 numbers that we can start playing in the North Carolina Evening Pick 4 Lottery. Alright, if you like this rundown, definitely please give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below about Piggy here. I'd love to hear your feedback on whether or not Piggy should stay or Piggy should go and what I should replace Piggy with. Subscribe to the channel. Please share this video around with your friends. And I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks. Bye.